How much weight do you cut?
I don't really cut a lot of weight at all. I I get myself down to about 220 on fight week, and then
What do you weigh right now?
right now I'm 230, 232, 230. But I get myself down to about 220 during fight week, and then I make sure that the day of weigh-ins, I cut about 5 pounds of water.
That's nothing.
No, it's nothing, but that's a testament to just
Preparation.
Yeah, I've been doing it for so long now. I know my job is to be, to have my weight together.
When you see Conor McGregor weighing at 145 and he looks like death,
Right.
that when I see those, that's what scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
When I see people that are just clearly cutting way too much weight. Or the worst one I ever saw was Travis Lutter when he fought Anderson Silva. Travis Lutter, he had his lips were dried up and cracked, and he was shuffling to the scale like he couldn't walk. He didn't have the strength to pick his feet up and walk. He was just shuffling towards, and he still didn't make the weight.
Yeah, it's shitty. But
Scares me the most because there's not a lot of options when it comes to weight classes. If someone's 185 and they go, man, I'm having a hard time fighting 185, then they look at you and they're like, fuck that. This is 205. That's a 20-pound jump.
Right.
20 pounds is a big jump.
It's huge. Yeah. Yeah, as far as weight cutting for me, I just, it's never really been an issue for me. I've always made weight. I've never come close to missing weight. I just think.
But aren't you lucky though that you're in the neighborhood of 205? Like, what if you were just a little bigger, and and you're in the heavyweight division?
If I was a little bigger, then I would go to heavyweight. But a part of our job is to keep our weight under control.
Right.
If you're going to be fighting at 205, you have no business walking around at 250.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you just.
Do you think there's enough weight classes?
No, I would like there to be at least another weight class when it comes to us big boys. I would love it if there was
a 225.
Like a 225, yeah. I believe if there was a 225-pound weight class, I'd be a 2-belt holder myself.
Do you feel like that would be a better weight class for you?
I love 205. I make 205 just fine. But 225, I compete against a 225-pounder any day. Face the guy who's showing up fight night at 240 or whatever. I spar against heavyweights pretty much I've been doing it my whole career anyway, so it'd be great to see something that bridges that gap a little bit from 205 to 265.
Yeah, I would like to see it. I would like to see between 55 and 70, 70 and 85. There's just 15 pounds is a giant leap. 20 pounds from 85 to 205. And then, of course, 205 to heavyweight. That's a huge leap. That's 65 pounds.
That's gigantic, yeah. A lot of people are like, why don't you go up to heavyweight and try to win the belt there? I'm just like, you realize what you're asking me to do? Like, these guys are very skilled. These guys are very skilled, and they can weigh, 60 pounds more than me? That's very dangerous. But
have you thought about doing heavyweight?
I do want to challenge for the heavyweight title, but I'm waiting for the perfect opponent.
And when you do that, when you challenge for the heavyweight title, are you going to gain weight, or are you going to fight at the weight you're at?
I'll fight right around 230.
So you'll just not lose any weight at all?
Yeah, I would try to eat a lot and make sure my endurance and speed and agility is where it needs to be. And I've beaten up a lot of heavyweights, man. The only people who are at Jackson's have seen that. I've submitted a lot of heavyweights. I've slammed a lot of heavyweights. I've manhandled a lot of heavyweights, and I've done it right at the weight I am now. So I know that I'm capable. I just want to make sure that I compete against the right stylistic matchup for me when I do go to heavyweight and challenge for that title.
One of the things you said earlier that I thought was really interesting is you said you're not going to spar hard again.
Yeah, no, not until it was time. I feel like I've been majorly preserving myself. So leading up to the Oven St. Preux fight, I took no concussions whatsoever, and then I've been suspended now for another year, and I've taken no concussions. So while I feel like a lot of these guys are in this race to get better, I'm getting a lot better. I'm getting a lot stronger. My wrestling and jiu-jitsu is getting a lot sharper. But I've completely, my brain is feeling great right now. I haven't been polluting it with shit, and I haven't damaged it. And so I just feel like you got the best fighter in light heavyweight history, who's still the youngest guy in the division, who hasn't taken any damage whatsoever and is completely regenerating himself. And I'm going to come back and have this explosive second half of a career.
Now, there's a lot of guys that are doing that now where they're not sparring hard. Cowboy barely spars at all. I don't think he even spars. He does like some technical sparring where, it's just tap, touch, just move around, but he's mostly just doing drills.
That's what I'm going to get into.
He said he changed that after the Dos Anjos fight. He said when he lost to Rafael Dos Anjos, he just felt like maybe he had diminished himself too much with hard sparring.
Dude, a lot of these guys, they leave their career in the gym. Like you get no points. There's a few guys that come to mind right now at Jackson's who get punched in the head. I'm sitting there watching them spar. I watch a lot of fighting, and I'm still a huge student of the game, but I'm not doing it myself. These guys laugh and like, they get punched and they start giggling or they just, and that's the dumbest shit to me ever. Like, getting punched in the head pisses me off. If I leave practice with a headache, I'm pissed. I feel like I just took away from myself or just, that was one more punch I could have saved for an actual event. So right now, I have a great chin. I've never been rocked or wobbled. And I want to keep it that way. I'm going to preserve myself because the skills will come. But, that brain, once it's jello, is jello forever.
It is jello forever. And that's a scary thing when you see guys go. Mm-hmm. When you see a guy like maybe Chuck Liddell's one of the best examples ever because he had an iron jaw at one point in time. He was just indestructible. And then you saw him just get wobbled by shots that normally he would just eat like a Tic Tac.
Yeah, yeah.
And when it goes, it just goes, and it does not come back.
Yeah, I'm saving my shit, Joe.
I hear you.
I'm saving it.
I want you to.
Yeah.
Now, Jackson's is such a crazy place because it's a hotbed of MMA talent, and it's a magnet for talented people to come there to get better because they know they're going to be training with a bunch of animals there. But I'm hearing now with the opening of the new place that you guys just got so many tough dudes coming there trying to make a name.
Right.
Do you have an issue with that when it comes to sparring, where guys want to try to make a name sparring you?
I personally don't have an issue with it. So me, since we've had our new gym, it's a gigantic facility, and we need people to pay the bills. So we allow a lot of people to come into the gym who I don't think are always qualified to be in the gym. But we allow everybody to come. And
so anybody off the street, like any normal person?
No, you can't. No, so our gym manager, he does have an extensive tryout thing that he does where he puts you through jiu-jitsu, wrestling, and kicking and striking and make sure you're knowledgeable about the game. So you have to have experience.
Like how much experience do they have to have? Do they have to be like an amateur MMA fighter?
There's
like
a lot of
blue
amateur
belt
guys.
in jiu-jitsu? Like
You can't be a guy off the street who don't know shit.
Who doesn't know shit.
But
right.
but outside of that, if you have a general idea of martial arts and that we're opening the door to a lot of people right now.
So is it like a pro fight gym, or do they offer classes for beginners?
There's amateur classes. So if you know almost nothing, you're in the amateur classes, and then there's the pro practices where you literally get guys who aren't very knowledgeable training next to me and Holly Holm, Cowboy Cerrone, and all of us. So it's a fan experience for sure, and it's an experience of a lifetime for a lot of people. And I'm happy for a lot of these guys who come in here aspiring martial arts and gets to train with me and the rest of us, because I can only imagine wanting to you get to play ball with LeBron James and you just got out of college or you never even went to college. Like I am happy for them. As long as they don't get in my way.
That is the big difference, though. As someone who wants to come and play with LeBron James, you want to make a name for yourself.
So with me,
you could dunk on LeBron James, and everybody like, oh, I can't believe you did that. But
so
it's a big difference between that and fighting.
I have a way of not letting this affect my game personally. I'm a decent judge. Like I can read people's character a little bit, and if I see you for the first time, you are obviously about 260, 205, whatever, 220, and it's all about the way you look at me. So if you come in the gym and you even look like you have an ounce of a chip on your shoulder, or like an ounce of holy shit, that's John Jones, I'm getting ready to spar him today, or like anything weird that's going on with your eye contact with me, then I'm just not gonna mess with you. I'll say hi to you and welcome to Jackson's. And
what if they say, hey man, do you want to spar?
I'm like, hey, no. I don't have any room for people trying to prove anything with me.
But there's a lot of that there, isn't there?
It happens. So me, the best way you can work with me when you come to Jackson's is come up, introduce yourself, be kind, be polite, be respectful, and show me that you are here to get better, and that you're not here to You know, even some guys, they come in and ask for a picture of their first day here, and I'm just like, it's like, dude, like, how about
Right.
you come here, work your ass off for a few
Right.
days, few weeks, or whatever, and then get to this place where you feel like you're comfortable to ask for a picture instead of just being here and being a fan.
People want those fucking pictures
Yeah, it's like, dude,
instantaneously.
yeah, it's like, bro, you're here, you're in the church right now, you're in the like, you don't take a picture here, like, if you don't,
Yeah.
I don't know,
I know what you mean. No. Yeah. I know
you
what
know
you
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. You should. That's not where your mind should be at. Like,
yeah,
look at
earn
my
this.
Facebook page.
Right, yo, look what I trained with today. It's just like,
Told you I was a bad motherfucker.
yeah, or you'll see that they'll tag you in a picture and it's like,
Yeah.
just train with the GOAT. And
Yeah.
really, we didn't even train together. Like, you were just in the room
Right.
with me, you know, little stuff like that.
Right.
But I do see the benefits of having so many new people coming in. I mean, everyone has something to teach, and you know, you can learn from anybody from any country if you're willing, if you have an open mind enough. And a lot of the guys come in with a great attitude, and they're just really grateful to be there. And they go with a lot of the top dogs, and you know, we can kind of beat them up a little bit, you know, because they're the new guy or whatever. But every once in a while, you get that one guy with something to prove, and I've really came up with a great way to protect myself from those type of people.
But you've run into those.
Most people, like, I'm always very defensive when I'm going with a guy who I feel like he could be trying to prove something. Like, even when we're drilling, my defense is always on. I don't give someone the opportunity to take a swing or take a punch. I've had one guy hit me with a monstrous overhand right while we were drilling, and that was intentionally to knock me out. And instead of retaliating, I said, man, you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm all right. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. And I was just like, okay, well, that was fun, man. Nice working with you. Just would never, ever work with you again. I had one guy punch me in the balls intentionally, too, not too long ago. And that was his last time ever training with me as well. So it's
Smart. That's
yeah,
a smart strategy.
Yeah,
That's a very smart way of
stay away
handling
from
it,
you.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you do find those disturbed people that get involved in fighting, and they do want to take a chance at a guy like John Jones. Just take a swing at you, man. What if I connect and knock him out? I knocked out John Jones.
Right. I go, like, the few times that it has happened too, I'll let my teammates know I'm going to match what you're trying to do to me. So, you know, don't be surprised if I fuck you up with something that's a little bit more than what you would do to a training partner.
Right.
If I realize you're trying to hurt me.